To all the attendees, a very warm welcome from OP Jindal Global University. We both welcome you all for today's session, and we would be going through the careers in business analytics, helping you understand what analytics is as a career, and let's enrich our experiences and hear from Professor Divya. So over to you, Professor Divya. Let's start the session.
Thank you so much, Vikram. A very good evening and greetings of the day. I know many of you are joining us from very different parts of the world. It is evening in India, but I realize that for some of you it might be morning or afternoon. So a very, very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of the OP Jindal Global University. And we are here today to formalize an admissions webinar for the newly launched online MBA program in business analytics in partnership with Coursera. So let me just give me 1 second. I have a very short slide deck, which I would like to share with all of you. Vikram, is the screen visible? If you can just give me a cue. All right, great. Thank you so much. So before I start, a very brief description about myself. I am Professor Divya Sharma. I am associated with the Information Systems and Analytics area in the Jindal Global Business School, which is the business school associated with the OP Jindal Global University. I am currently leading the academic execution of this fully online MBA program in business analytics. I have been professionally associated with the area of information technology and information systems for I think about 13 years now. So I think it's quite a lot of time. I completed my PhD from the Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta, which is among India's top 3 management institutes. And even in the world rankings, it consistently ranks in the top 50 in the Financial Times Global MBA rankings. After I completed my PhD, I took to academia full time, and I was previously employed with an Indian Institute of Management in Rohtak. And after that, I joined the OP Jindal Global University. Over the past 4 years, my teaching inclinations have taken a turn towards the very exciting upcoming area of analytics. And I am really happy today to be discussing about this domain of analytics that I have very close to my heart, and also about this very interesting new program that our university is launching on Coursera. So if I ask you, I just have a question to ask, if you can answer in the chat window. What do you think are the top 10 companies by market capitalization? Your guess is some of you might actually be aware of it. What do you think are the top 10 companies by market capitalization in the world? So you can use the chat window to reply. So the obvious names I think that would come to your mind would be, the ones that I have on screen, right? So the likes of Google, Amazon, Apple, Tencent, Microsoft, Tesla, Facebook, right? These are, so if we try to categorize them by an industry, they are all tech firms. And as we call them these days, they are tech giants. So what does this indicate? It indicates that there has been a shift in the economy and also in employment towards technology. So if technology is the future, what kind of jobs and what kind of employment do you oversee in the do you foresee in the coming 5 years? So if I just give you a little bit of context, when I graduated close to 15 years ago, one of the most sought after jobs in India, at least I can speak for the Indian context, was that of bank tellers. So people would graduate out of college and then start sitting in entrance exams for banking jobs. And now, what kind of future do you see for this kind of a job role? We have kiosks coming in, we have net banking, we have mobile apps. So the future for this kind of a job role is not very bright. And this was sort of a more mundane job role. Even if I talk of the more high skilled roles, like say in the sector of financial credit frauds or auditing, or if I talk of healthcare and diagnosis, or maybe lead generation in marketing, optimization in logistics, predictive maintenance in manufacturing, digital twinning, these are all very, very upcoming areas where technology is playing a very, very important role. So just to give you a few examples. So I'm sure that many of you would have heard of Lotte. Now, Lotte is the largest internet shopping website in Korea. And typically they have about 1 million customers visiting their website on a daily basis. But the problem that Lotte faces is that most of their customers do not complete their shopping and they exit with an abandoned shopping cart. So the executives at Lotte wanted to understand, what might be going wrong. And what they did was to implement customer experience analytics. And as a result of all the analytics that they performed on the logs of the website, they were able to understand the different reasons that led to customers abandoning their shopping carts. And eventually, they were able to not only implement targeted marketing on their website, but they were also able to change certain aspects of the website itself, which eventually led to a great increase in their customer loyalty. In the span of just 1 year, they were able to see increase in the customer loyalty, and at the same time they saw almost a $10 million increase in the sales volume that they were experiencing through the website channel. Coming to another example, if we have some friends from Africa joining us, so you might have heard of the company called Santam. Now, Santam is South Africa's largest short-term insurance policy provider, and it operates in some other geographies of Africa as well. Now, even though this company has been very, very successful, it has revenues exceeding almost, very close to rather $2 million, $2 billion US, and they were facing some issues. And what was the issue that they were facing? There was a lot of insurance fraud that they had to experience. Close to 6 to 10% of their annual revenues were getting lost because of insurance frauds. So in order to resolve this situation, even they took to analytics, and they developed machine learning algorithms that could scrutinize different different claims when they were put up. And this allowed them to detect potential frauds without compromising any customer service. So analytics enabled Santam to create a risk score for each customer, so that the auditors needed to focus only on the most high risk cases. And this resulted not only in a reduction of time required to process a claim by 95%, but it also led to annual savings close to $4 million. Now, interestingly, in this case, while this story is that within 4 months of implementing the analytics program, Santam was able to unravel a crime syndicate that was systematically committing insurance frauds against them. So these kind of gains can also come through the use of analytics. And lastly, I think my all-time favorite case when it comes to the use of analytics is that of GE. right? So General Electric, many of you would be aware about this, very large, long-standing company. And General Electric has completely transformed the way that it runs its manufacturing of operations and customer service through the use of analytics. The company has installed sensors on, its gas turbines, on the generators, and these hundreds of sensors send in hourly data on the performance of the turbines back to GE's control center. And this data is flowing in from close to 50 countries on an hourly basis. Now, this very large voluminous data is then analyzed at GE's end on metrics like temperatures and then thermal performance, pressure, vibration, and all other different kinds of performance measures. And eventually, this kind of an analysis helps GE in preventing any machine breakdown time. So close to 150 potential failures are prevented by this kind of analytics. And it has, over the years led to an exorbitant, benefit for GE in terms of predictive maintenance services that now GE provides to most of its customers. So now, if with all these examples, I'm sure that you would understand that technology is here to stay. So in this technological era, what would constitute a promising career? Now, I understand that many of you are yourselves working professionals. You might have maybe few years of experience, or maybe a lot of experience at behind you. But if we look at the future of employment, the kind of skills that we require now are those where a human is capable of working with technology. So technology will act as an augmenting capability for the employees of organizations. Now, you would ask me, why am I talking about augmentation? So let me just give you a little bit of context. So you all would have heard of this phrase that we are surrounded by a data bubble. Now, what does that data bubble constitute? It's almost the total amount of bytes that we have today in our digital universe is almost 40 times more than the number of stars that we have in the physical universe. So you can imagine the enormity of data that we have. And it is absolutely impossible for humans to process this high volume, high frequency data. So businesses can excel only if their decisions are backed by data. And here comes the role of business analytics. Now, I'm sure that many of you would have read about business analytics, since you've already expressed your interest, in pursuing a degree in business analytics. But just for the benefit of everybody, let's just put what business analytics is into context. So business analytics is nothing but the application of different types of techniques and algorithms to draw insights from data. So business analytics, however, is not just about crunching data, but it is more about understanding the implications of data analysis in the context of business. So some of the things that business analysts are very adept at doing are things like assessing a company's performance with respect to its competitors, identifying further scope for improvement in efficiency, in effectiveness. A financial analyst would be able to assess frauds, would be able to predict frauds, would be able to forecast the company's performance. A marketing analyst would be able to assess customer experience, would be able to give insights on product performance, on marketing initiatives. Then in the domain of human resource analytics, an HR analyst would be able to analyze employee performance, their satisfaction, would be able to help reduce organizational attrition. So overall, a business analyst would be able to help a company in optimizing its costs and generating overall higher ROIs. Also, business analytics as a skill is in much demand today. So some estimates suggest that there is more than a 50% skill gap in this field, and it is this domain is expected to grow faster in terms of jobs than any other occupation. Even if you consider the current pandemic situation that we are all in, business analytics as an industry has only seen growth in terms of jobs and also the paychecks. So it is a very, very promising career to take up at this point in time. And some of the world's largest companies, some of the world's largest organizations are very, very keen on hiring good skilled business analysts. So you talk of technology firms like Google or Amazon, or or different MNCs, retailers like Walmart, manufacturers like Bosch or General Electric, your analytics consultancies like BCG or EY, telecom companies like AT&T, e-commerce firms like Amazon, even in the financial sector, companies like Goldman Sachs are keenly hiring business analysts. Coming closer to the Indian context, all our large IT companies like Wipro, like TCS, they are all hiring business analysts. Even in the government sector, analytics is now being used in the domains of healthcare, in the domains of energy, in the domains of public service delivery, so on and so forth. So let me now talk a little bit about this online MBA program in business analytics that our university is launching. So this program has been designed specifically keeping the needs of the industry in mind, and we are very, very cognizant of the requirements of the industry and the economy. And this program is being offered in an fully online mode. It has been aligned in a manner to meet the expectations and desires and needs of working professionals from all around the globe. If you are somebody who's been working for a while and you want to switch your job into an analytics focused role, or you're currently in an analytics firm and you want to go up the ladder, I think this is the perfect program for you. It will allow you a very, very flexible pacing while you'll be able to carry forward your education while maintaining a very good work-life balance. The program is appropriate for anyone who is interested and has a passion to solve problems in novel ways, who can think critically and analytically. The curriculum, I'll be very brief about the curriculum right now. If there are any questions, we are here to take them up. So the curriculum has been designed to provide the right mix of knowledge about the business management domain on one side and the analytics domain on the other side. So you will have a good balance of management skills and technical skills in this program. And we have also tried to maintain a balance between theory and practice. So there will be many sessions on hands-on practice, many projects. We will have an integrative capstone project at in the last semester of the program that will enable you to try out all the skills that you have acquired during the program in a sort of quasi-real world setup. And the added advantage of this program is that since we are launching the program on Coursera, you will be learning alongside a global cohort. And these people will come from different industries. They will come from different age groups with different experience levels and different cultures. And I think that is going to be a very, very enriching experience for all of you. You will also have the opportunity to learn from some of the world's highly experienced and qualified faculty members at the OP Jindal Global University. These faculty have a lot of experience behind them, and they both in the management side and in the analytics side, we have very good faculty who will, I'm sure, provide you the correct hand-holding to eventually become career ready. So I'll just end with this. So some of the capabilities or skills that you can expect to have acquired by the end of this program would be things like identifying and assessing business problems, analyzing data, suggesting solutions to the different business problems, effectively communicating your insights and results, and eventually working in teams and managing analytics projects, right? So with this, I think I'll just take a pause, and I will be very, very happy to take your questions. And Vikram, the stage is open for you if there's anything that you would like to add.
Thank you, Professor Divya. And it was a very crisp and an insightful, I would say, information of what analytics is as a career. And as we all know, it is the biggest buzzword we all have been listening across every industry. And this is for the first time OP Jindal Global University, which is being rated as an institution of eminence very recently by Ministry of HRD, the Human Resources Development in India. We have partnered with Coursera, and this MBA program is, as the question also has been asked, the duration of the course is 2 years. It's a 2-year program. It's a degree course, and a candidate needs to be a graduate. You need to be a graduate. There is no minimum percentage that you need to qualify for, and there is an online application form. I would just share the link in the chat box with everyone. You all can go through the link. You can check the various important informations, and we are planning to start this course from September onwards. Somebody have written a question.
I'll just, if I may add, Vikram. So the suggested time for the program would be 24 months. That is the way that it has been designed. But obviously, some of you would like to pace it slightly slowly. So you can, we will have 36-month tracks. And I think you can also check this out on the Coursera website. So I think so you can self-pace it a little. So even beyond 2 years, if obviously many of you might be working, and then we all have family commitments as well. You might land up a new job, and you like to go slow. So we have those possibilities as well, where you can slow down the pace according to your requirements. So from 24 to 36 months is something that we are suggesting. And if there is a need for somebody to even require a longer term, then probably we can take it up on a case-by-case basis.
Thank you, Professor Divya. So a student has asked us if there are any scholarships being offered in this program. So while designing this program, we have kept the initial tuition fees at a very competitive rate. And the total program fees is 5.5 lakhs for the Indian students. And for the international students, the fees is $7,500 for 2 years. So the tuition fees is very competitive as compared to the other online programs which are available across the globe. And right now there are no scholarships which are being thought of. Any other questions if you have? I would, Professor Divya, yes, there's a question which is written. What softwares we will be using to analyze data? If you could throw some more lights on this question.
Absolutely. Thank you, Vikram. And good question. I think it's a very, very pertinent question, especially for a course on business analytics. So we will be covering all the, all different tools that are most commonly used in the industry. So you will be learning R, you will be learning Python, you will be learning SQL, you will be learning Tableau. And then depending on your appetite and your desire for learning more advanced analytics techniques, we will have 5 different electives where you might get introduced to some more analytics tools as well. So I hope I was able to answer your question. If there's anything, I'll be happy to answer.
So I think there's one more question. Somebody wants to ask, what are the future aspects if I opt for aviation courses in MBA program? I'm not sure if you could elaborate this question. Are you talking with respect to analytics in the aviation sector, or are you talking about aviation courses for the management or the ground level? What exactly, if you could elaborate a bit, it would be quite helpful for us. So we do have certain more questions. Yes, there's a question from Mr. Amar Agarwal. How well is this online degree accredited? Can I expect to land a proper job in the US or any other country in the world after completing this course? So basically what the any of the program which is offered generally is to help the students understand and enhance their professional network and in their jobs. The people who are already working anywhere, and if they want to expand their knowledge, get what is as per the industry requirements, they are the people who would like to go for an online program. So it is not a gateway at all that if I do this course, I would be going to US or it will be a ticket directly to US. But yes, obviously, if I am working in the field, but if I don't have a requisite degree to support my work, this would surely add a lot of value to it. Am I right, Professor Divya?
Absolutely, Vikram. So if I get the spirit of the question, so see, if you're talking about recognition of the degree, yes, it is a recognized degree. The university we have already in the Indian setup, we have received the permission from the University Grants Commission to run this program in the online mode. So it is an absolutely recognized degree that you will get from an institute of eminence in India. And we are currently working upon different forms of international accreditations as well. So as and when they happen, obviously you will get the benefit of that. So I'll just add that.
There is this important question: will there be online live sessions only, or it would be purely recorded? If you could elaborate.
I think this is also an excellent question. Thank you very much for asking this question. So uh, the program has been designed keeping the requirements of a global cohort, a substantial part of which is going to be working professionals. As a result, uh, most of the curriculum is going to get delivered in an asynchronous manner through videos and reading material, along with different forms of assessment. So we are going to have very, very regular assessments as part of the program. Almost on a weekly basis, you will be tested. You will have the option to work in groups for your assignments and projects. There will be ample opportunity to discuss, as you know, is typical of any MBA program. Discussion and peer learning is considered a very, very important attribute of any program. So even that has been built into the program. So you will have enough opportunity to discuss with your peers about topics in the class through Coursera's online platform. But having said that, the full program is not only in the asynchronous mode. We do have synchronous sessions as well. So we will have on a weekly basis at least one live session of about 90 minutes, 60 to 90 minutes, depending on the course and the requirement, with the students, where the faculty will be interacting in person live with everybody. And we will also try to have the live sessions in different time zones. So maybe two time zones, one morning, one evening, so that we can cover the entire global cohort that we are expecting for this program. So yes, there will be live sessions, there will be asynchronous learning. It is a mix of both. You will have opportunity to learn on your pace flexibly, and at the same time also meet the faculty, discuss doubts, and all other interesting discussions that you can have with your peers. All of that will be possible through the live sessions.
Thank you, Professor Divya. So, what I understand correctly, and I would like to share with all the fellow participants who have joined us today, the main advantage of this course would be coming from the great diversity of all the students who are coming from across the world. We have already started receiving in the applications, and while analyzing the applications, we found that there were students who were with 10, 15 years of experience, as good as 20 years of experience, to even 5 years of experience. So the diversity of the class, I personally feel, is very, very important in the peer learning. And as I have already mentioned to you that this is the first initiative which we have taken ahead with Coursera in the online space, we are totally geared up in terms of fixing up the so-called gaps in the online education. So online education, mainly people who think there are only recorded lectures, there is no normal interaction. We are trying to overcome that as well in a very systematic manner, like what Professor Divya mentioned. People are coming from different time zones. It is very, very important to keep a track on it, to assist the people. Although the program is for 2 years, we are keeping it for 36 months, looking at the needs of the working professional. So we are trying to give the flexibility in those terms. And we would be doing the sessions in coming days. In case if you have any questions, not immediately, but you would like to connect to us, I would request Professor Divya to share her email ID in the chat box. I would also type my email ID over there. And maybe if in case you have some more questions, some detailed questions to ask, please do not hesitate to get back to us. Uh, Mr. Muhammad Hassan Ghani want to ask what is the duration of the course. So, Mr. Muhammad, as we have already mentioned, the program is basically for 2 years with the flexibility of one more year to complete it. So it's 24 months. Okay. Then, Mr. Abhinav, you have a question. Is there any placement assistance after completing the course? So generally the online programs are not directly leading to any kind of direct support in terms of placement. However, as I mentioned, the peer group itself is a big support. If a person is looking forward for, definitely there would be an advantage. And let's see how it is going to take shape in future.
So I was
Anything?
just checking questions in the Q&A box also. I think, yeah, one of the question is that will the course differentiate according to specialization? So yes, absolutely. We're going to offer a bouquet of electives in the last semester of the program. So we have tried, like I was mentioning earlier also, we have tried to maintain a balance between the business management side and the analytics side, right? So the degree that we are trying to offer here is not just in data science, it is a degree in business analytics. So we will give you enough opportunity to learn all the different core courses that are typically offered in an MBA program. So be it in HR or marketing or finance, financial accounting, financial management, entrepreneurship, strategic management, operations management, supply chain management. You will be introduced to all of these core business management courses as part of the program. On the analytics side, the core courses will include all the essential tools, techniques, skills that are expected of an analyst, including data wrangling or advanced data mining, artificial intelligence, time series analytics, text analytics, data visualization. So all the different techniques will also be introduced to you. And finally, in the last semester, we will be offering a bouquet of electives to you. Each student is expected to take 5 for credit. And depending on your your interest, you can choose between HR analytics, supply chain analytics, financial analytics, risk analytics, web and social media analytics, network analytics, process analytics. So a whole host of analytics focused specialized courses will also be offered. And absolutely there is that option of specializing in things that you think will benefit you in your job roles.
So I think more or less every question has been covered. Let me just again go back, scroll the screen. Yes, it is a complete online program. We have a question in the chat box. Is the program an online program? Yes, absolutely. The program is fully online.
Also, okay, there's one more question from Aman. I think he's asking, is the course going to be similar to the campus program? So, see, currently here at our university, we don't have a campus program which specializes in business analytics. We do have a BBA program that is getting launched this year itself, but we have tried to match the course curriculum to that of the top universities the world over, and a lot of effort and thinking has gone into the curriculum design. So I'm sure that you'll find the curriculum good enough in comparison to any other similar university that is offering such a program.
Professor Divya, thanks for that. There's a very important question from Mr. Amar Agarwal. He mentioned how much of an effort is expected to be put in by a participant in order to complete a degree in 2 years' time. Maybe
Okay.
he just want to elaborate. He again wrote, how many hours in a week is the study required?
Very good question. I think, yeah. So these questions become very, very pertinent when we have working professionals who want to, further upskill themselves with an online degree like this. So keeping this in mind, and having received a lot of, information in terms of the expectations of working professionals from Coursera, we have tried to design the program in a manner where the student will be required to put in no more than 10 hours of effort per week to complete the entire coursework in 24 months. In 2 years, 24 months. So and this is I think we've been a little more stringent on the timelines. If you are more committed, you will be able to complete it in less than 24 months. So we've factored in sufficient time between semesters so that you also get some time off from your studies. We have not tried to pace it very fast. We have tried to ensure that most of your assessments will happen during the course. So you can plan accordingly. You will be given sufficient clarity and transparency on whatever assignments etc. are going to come up, and you can plan your work assignments and your work commitments also accordingly. So at the fastest pace, you should be able to complete the course in about 80 to 90 weeks, which is less than 24 months. So, but obviously I understand that you will like time off, you will need vacation. So all of that has been factored in. 24 months, you should be able to easily complete it, giving an effort of about 10 hours in a week.
Thank you, Professor Divya. There is another question, and Mr. Amar would like to see the course structure. So I would request Mr. Amar if you could share your email ID with us. We
Yes.
are currently in process of designing the course structure, and once the same is with us, we will be happy to share it with you. And we will also be uploading the same on the Coursera website also, so that everybody who is planning to think ahead of this course has a gist of what exactly would be covered in the next 2 years.
Absolutely. So I think a very good resource for everybody would be the Coursera page for this program. I think Vikram has already shared the link in the chat. So I would urge anybody who would like more information on the course and the kind of experience that you can have, you can visit that page. We've sort of developed it in a very detailed manner, and the entire program structure is likely to be up on the website very soon. It's the curriculum has been designed. The delivery of the program is currently underway. So you will be able to, I think, very shortly be able to see the curriculum online. And if you can share your email address, we will be happy to share the program structure with you.
Any more questions if anybody is having?
So if there are any specific questions with respect to the course structure, I will be happy to answer them right now.
I would request the participants, if in case you have questions pertaining to academics, specialization, the subjects, we would be very happy to answer that.
In the Q&A, Rangaswamy Kanan, Mr. Rangaswamy Kanan has asked if what is the proportion of theory and practice in the program. So in the specifically for the analytics oriented courses, it is going to be a very hands-on program. Almost in all the analytics courses, you will be expected to try things out hands-on almost in every session. So there will hardly be sessions where you will not have the practice component. So we understand that the practice is a very essential component for a skill like business analytics. So there is going to be a lot of opportunity for you to try out things. We are also most of the courses that will be offered will be using Coursera's inbuilt labs, which will give you a seamless experience of learning. You will be able to open the lab and side by side watch the lecture, try out things. So Coursera Labs in itself is an excellent environment to be working with, and you will not have to worry a lot about setting up your own environment. Obviously, if there is need, we will provide you support to do that, but you will be able to fast track your learning by using the Coursera Labs inbuilt tools for all your analytics needs. So that is something that we have kept in mind, because we understand that even specifically in this kind of a course, even setting up your environment to do analytics can become a very challenging task. So I think even Coursera realizes this. So they have this inbuilt tool that will help you start practicing from the first session itself.
Mr. Gaurav Juneja wants to know, the classes would be on weekends or what? Have we planned anything, Professor Divya, as of now on this?
So again, good question. So see, like I was saying, that most of the curriculum will get delivered in an asynchronous manner, right? So the asynchronous content can be consumed by you at your own convenience while you are traveling in the metro, going to office, returning from office, or after your kid goes to sleep in the night. All the lectures, all the assignments, all of that will get become available to you when you register for the program and you are formally inducted on the 1st of September. So all the asynchronous component, which I would say is the bulk of the component, right? The bulk of the course will get delivered to you in an asynchronous manner. It's just that the live sessions, there would be about 6 live sessions for a full course, like a 3-credit course, is the highest credit that we have for a course. So in a 3-credit course, you will have 6 live sessions, probably 1 each week. And each of these sessions is going to be repeated in 2 time zones. So we will have morning and evening slots. So I think you should be able to plan your assignments and your other commitments accordingly. The schedule for the live sessions will be informed to you much before the classes begin. So it's not really about weekend and weekday classes, because the synchronous component is the portion where the faculty will be meeting you live. The remaining can be consumed in an absolutely asynchronous self-paced manner.
We have a question which is pertaining to the admissions requirement, and Mr. Vincent wants to know what are the academic requisites. So as far as the requisites are concerned, a student should possess a graduation degree. That is the minimum requirement. And once you upload there is no application fees which we have kept as of now. So the student can go ahead and complete the application form. Once you upload all your academic transcripts, your details of your job history, there is a section where you have to upload a video of 2 minutes where we would be able to analyze what exactly is driving you towards this course. You would be basically helping us to understand your background of education, your background of job, and through the consolidated assessment of your academics and your professional history, we would be able to decide whether we would be able to give you an admission or not in the said program. So that are the basic requirements for the admission process. And the application is already live right now. The students who have started filling up their application forms, we are already in process of analyzing their transcripts. And once we verify their transcripts, their graduation background, their master's background, if in case anybody is having, the offers will be rolled out subsequently. Any other question if anybody is having?
I think there's one question about whether the opportunities for international students. So absolutely, yes, we are on the basis of citizenship or nationality, we are not, filtering anybody out. The only caveat is that this program is offered in the English language. So if you're proficient in English, I think you should be able to take the program. There should not be a problem. So, whether you are an Indian national or you're from any other country, you are most welcome to apply for the program.
Anything else? Is there a provision for financial aid as it is offered by Coursera in their courses? I don't think so. As of now, there is any separate financial aid, Mr. Kannan, for this particular program. And once again, I would like to share with everyone that the tuition fees in terms of the Indian rupees is 5.5 lakhs for 2 years, the program fees. And for the international students, it is 7,500 US dollars for the complete 2-year program. How can we get in touch with the university management on more information about the admissions? I would request you, I have shared my email ID in the chat box, and I'm again typing it down once again. If in case any of you would like to share an email separately and discuss anything further, my email ID is already written over there. I would be happy to chat with you, understand your academics and your job profile, and then we can take our discussions forward.
So I have also shared my email address. If there are any queries with respect to academics, or you want to understand how this program will help you advance in your career, you can anytime write to me. If you have any questions about the curriculum, I'll be happy to answer them. I think there's also one question about whether a background in actuarial sciences and risk management, what does it mean for this program? So absolutely, it doesn't. I think you would be a good candidate for the program. We have specific courses that are aligned towards financial analytics, risk analytics, fraud detection. So if you want to continue in this domain, I think that we do have a set of courses that would specifically be of interest to you if you want to further your career in on this side of credit assessment or risk analytics. So absolutely, I think this program would be a good fit for you.
So I can't find any other questions. If we have missed any, no, there's nothing in the Q&A session as of now. I think we have covered all the questions. So we have shared our details also. I have shared my contact number as well with everyone. I have only one request. If you are an international student and if you are trying to reach me, because of the time zone differences, I am available on WhatsApp on the same number. You can get in touch with me over WhatsApp. You can drop in a small WhatsApp or you can be in touch over email. Do we have any other questions as of now? We would encourage you to ask us questions if you have any.
So I think there's one question about how would a freshly graduated student benefit from this program. So yes, Shraddha, I think this is a very good question. Even though typically people take up online programs like this one if they are working professionals, but we would encourage even freshly graduates to apply for the program. There you will not have any disadvantage, if I can put it like that. The also there are no prerequisites. There is no additional effort that you would require to go that you would require to put in. The courses have been designed in a very, very comprehensive manner, right? So if you're willing to put in the effort to go through all the course content, the course material, and put in the effort in attempting all the assignments in time, attending live sessions, seeking feedback, I think there is no disadvantage that you would have even if you don't have any work experience. Vikram, you are on mute.
Oh, yes, yes. So what is the payment schedule for international students? So as unlike in any of the MBA program, the tuition fees is paid into semester wise. So we have also decided that the tuition fees would be applicable and paid into semesters. We are only left with 7 more minutes. So if in case there is anything which is coming to anybody's mind, we still have 7 minutes in hand and we would be happy to answer those questions. Otherwise, our email ID and my WhatsApp number has already been shared with you in the chat group. So you may please refer to my WhatsApp number. If in case you have anything, please feel free to get in touch with me.
Vikram, there is a question about the payment schedule for international students. If you could just talk about that.
So the tuition fees also of $7,500 has been divided into 4 equal installments. Professor Divya, am I audible to you?
Yes, yes, yes. There's also a question on the future prospects if you join this program. So all that I can say is that the future prospects seem quite bright at this point in time. So you will have enough opportunity to join different kinds of roles. They can be in strategic positions as consultants or as senior business analysts. that provide strategic consulting for different organizations. You can also take on more specific roles, which are domain specific, say in the finance domain as a financial analyst, or as a marketing analyst, or as an HR analyst. So there will be enough opportunity, and in fact, I don't know if you were there in the beginning part of the session, but as I mentioned, there's more than a 50% skill gap in the domain of business analytics. So we have more jobs than we have people to take those jobs. So as of now, I think even if I can speak for the coming 5 years, the prospect of an MBA in business analytics is very, very bright. You should not worry much about the getting a job. And even from the perspective of the salaries, typically business analysts are among the highest paid professionals across industries, and your paycheck can vary anywhere between $30 and $60 in an for 1 hour. So in the more advanced economies, Australia, UK, USA, the salaries are obviously higher. And if you come to the lower rung countries, they are going to be concomitantly lower. But if you compare with other industries, business analysts are usually higher paid than other MBA general degree holders.
Professor Divya, there is a question from Mr. Amar Agarwal. I would request you to please scroll the chat. We have answered his one of the questions where he asked us about how long it is. If you can please go up, he wants to know, it is specifically with academics. It was posted at 6:52, just to help you.
6:52. My question to you
regarding, yes.
All right. Is how detailed is the course going to be when you say that data wrangling and mining is going to be covered? The data science aspect of the course is going to be long in details. As I'm aware, the prevalent courses for online data science are usually as long as 2 years. So how are you adding to that with enough management? Okay, good question. Good, very, very good question, Amar. So let me just tell you, since the course material will be provided to you in an asynchronous manner, the recordings that you will get are going to be very, very comprehensive, and they will be enough to give you sufficient insight into a specific topic that is being covered. In most cases for analytics courses, the topic will be covered through some example in the video, and after that you will have the opportunity to try out either the same example or other assignments and practice questions that would be made available to you at your own pace. So when we are saying that in 10 hours of effort, 10 hours of effort is what we are expecting, obviously for the practice and other things you might want to put in more effort, right? And that's typically what happens even in an on-campus setup. Depending on your own appetite and your own penchant, some students tend to sit in the library longer than others do, right? So in a similar fashion, you will have, even though we have tried to keep the curriculum very, very comprehensive and at the same time complete, right? So please don't worry that if it is a 10 hours weekly effort, you will not be covering topics. Trust me, all the essential topics that are typically covered as part of a course would also get covered as part of the different courses in our program. So just that the difference from so you were asking how is it different from data science. Now let me just explicate that a little bit. So the focus of data science is different from business analytics. The focus of data science is on the computational aspects that run analytics tools, analytics software. It's more around designing algorithms and techniques that can be applied in all different kinds of domains, right? Now the focus of business analytics is quite different from that of a data scientist. So let me just clarify this for everybody who's here, that at the end of the program, our expectation is not to create data scientists. Our expectation is to create business analysts. Business analysts are people who will understand the business requirements, will be able to translate the business requirement into a data analytics model, run the model, get the insights, convert the insights back into actionable business outcomes, right? So the focus of our program is on the application of data science. It's not on developing new advanced algorithms that will forward the discipline of data science. We are giving you an MBA degree, not a master of science in data science. So that is probably the difference that that needs to be clear in your mind. You will, so the USP of our program is to provide you enough meat from the business management side as well as the analytics side, so that you can apply analytics in business scenarios. That is typically what a business analyst does. So it's different from a data science program, and obviously the time requirements and commitments for a data science program might be very different from a business analytics program.
Thank you, Professor Divya. So, Mr. Amar, I believe your question has been answered. If you could, yeah, if you have understood, if there is no other question, if you have in context to this, you may please put a small note so that we can understand if we have answered you correctly.
I think there's a question in the chat from Mr. William N, and he's asking if there is any mathematics. So we do not have a course on mathematics, right? For typically for a program on business analytics, we expect a little bit of understanding of statistics. So basic statistics is going to get covered as part of the curriculum. And appreciation for mathematics is something that we would really appreciate, right? So if you can appreciate maths, it's a good thing. But we are not really looking for people who are hardcore mathematicians or anything like that. The expectation of the program is not such. So if you can appreciate maths, you can understand numbers, and more importantly, you can contextualize numbers. That is going to hold you in good stead for this program. And yes, there is going to be programming. You will get introduced to Python as a programming language. Also, you will learn about R, and so a little bit of programming introduction will be provided to you. There will also be a course on financial accounting, and we will have, in addition to this, if you're interested on the in the finance side, we do have courses on financial management as well as on specific analytics courses in the finance domain, about related to risk analytics and fraud detection and so on and so forth. And I think there's also a related question about a thesis. So it's not really, I won't really call it a thesis in an MBA program. Usually what you have is an integrative capstone project. So that you will have in the last semester. So it will be a term-long project that you will be doing alongside the elective courses. And it will help you apply all the learning that you have acquired from the different courses of the program. And along with that, you will, for every course, you will have either a project or an assignment that will help you apply your learnings while you are pursuing the course.
So as of now, we do not have any scholarships or any kind of a concession regarding this MBA program. The fee structure has been kept very competitive, both at the international fee structures and the Indian fee structure, and that is applicable for all. So there was a question, so I thought let me just address it once again. Many of the students have asked if there are any scholarships or fee concessions. So right now we do not have. And the program fees is paid semester wise. So the fees is 7,500 US dollars for the complete program of 2 years, and it is paid 6 months each semester. So 1875, if I am correct, yes. So 1875 is the amount which you would be paying after every semester. So I think we have done our today's session. We would be interacting with the students more in days to come. And the students who have shared their email IDs requesting for the recording or for the program structure, I have already noted down your requests. So I would be sharing that document. You just wait for a couple of days, maybe 2 or 3 days, and you have recordings available. It will be shared, and you can get in touch with Professor Divya. You can get in touch with me. Our email IDs are already there. Feel free to discuss anything more about academics. It is very, very important for all of you to understand, first of all, that yes, why this program you plan to do. Because once you are coming ahead, you are investing 2 years of your time and your life. So first understand the program and then proceed ahead. So with that, I would like to take an opportunity to thank you all, and thanks for joining us. You all had joined from different parts of the world. It was pleasure interacting the first webinar for the MBA in Business Analytics in association with Coursera, and we both look forward to help you in future. Thank you, Professor Divya, and thank
Thank
you
you.
all the students and the prospective students, not the students, but yes, the prospective students, if you are looking forward to interact with us.
Thank you very much. And I look forward to hearing from you if you have any queries. And all the best. Hope to see you in class sometime.